Right, there's no doubt that the station is independent television and the program is this morning on ITV. I told you that we're going to be looking at Edo State one more time, talking about APC and talking about the crisis that has been on for quite some time now. Only recently we understand that a move was made to make sure that a reconciliation is carried out, and a committee was set up to be headed by Ahmed Lawan, that's the Senate president, only for it to be told that allegations, that the state government seems not to be comfortable with that committee. So the big question on the lips of people, on the lips of analysts, is that is there anything like a resolution in sight? Will this crisis ever be resolved? That is a very big question on the lips of people. Well, to look at all this today, we are so privileged to have Honorable Sase Ihera, who is from the Federal Polytechnic at Ekiti in Ekiti State. Sir, welcome to this program.
Good morning, Evans. Very smart viewers at home.
Yeah, we have a young barrister here with us, Dennis Society. Dennis, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we'll have the human rights activist and public affairs analyst, Solomon Idiogbe. Solomon, you're welcome to this program.
Very good morning this morning, and a very, very Merry Christmas.
You're welcome.
You and viewers at home.
Yeah, politics is almost everything, almost every day we talk about politics. When I was putting on this topic, it came to my mind, why will I do this on a Christmas day? But we had to do it. So, gentlemen, thanks for finding time to come on this program today. Now, we just, I just said that a committee is set up and allegations that the Edo State government, the governor, allegations though, that the governor is not comfortable with that committee to reconcile political issues in the APC in Edo State. Solomon Idiogbe, what do you make out of this?
I wouldn't be surprised hearing that the governor isn't comfortable with the set-up committee headed by Ahmed Lawan. Recall that the Senate, at a point when the crisis was just brewing, so to speak, came as regarding the issue of the Edo State House of Assembly, and the committee met and there was a resolution. And if you recall too, that the resolution, of course, didn't also go down well with the governor and his team, as it were. So having such a man coming to, if you like, sit over a committee or head a committee to look into the matter will make the governor suspicious. My thinking that he will still reenact the same, go and revisit the issue of the House of Assembly and all that. But having said that, but I do not think that it's just my thinking that's why I feel that the governor may be not wanting to see Lawan heading the committee. But for me, since it's the same APC, it is not an APC-PDP thing. Since it's the same political party, and is a national officer, so to speak, by way of hierarchy in governance of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, putting him there as the head of a committee to look, to me, shows a mark of respect and an attempt to sincerely look into it. But I think that because the Senate had once upon a time sat on the issue of Edo State, and having him now to come and share the committee, it's perhaps the suspicion and the anticipation that the governor may be thinking he may not get what he wants.
But the Edo APC issue is not a national issue.
I mean, it has become a national issue because the national chairman is a part of the issue. If you see the governor's team, the, in quote, Obaseki-led APC team, always regard the national chairman today as the suspended chairman. And those on the other side will also regard the Aslem Ojezwa-led Godwin Obaseki's APC as suspended Obaseki, suspended Ojezwa. I don't know if you understand. So it's like that. But if you ask me, I would say that the suspicion may not be right. You just need to allow peace, because if you do not allow, I hear there was It's right from the beginning when the National Working Committee met and said they were going to set up a committee and blah, blah. And then there was this suspicion from the government team. But I think that in all of it, whether you like it or not, in all of the long and prolonged crisis, there must be a settlement. There must be a roundtable talk. And somebody must head it. So why not just allow it for the avoidance of doubt and hear what they have to say? And of course, I know that there should be room for an appeal if it doesn't go down well with you. And I do not think that anybody at this point, because it's an APC thing. Okay. We are just like an outsider interfering, because it's like what I usually refer to as Peter Goat, chop Peter Yam.
Okay, now, Dennis Society, if the allegations leveled against the governor are correct, does the governor want peace? Are you sure he wants peace?
Well, allegations, I may really not know which allegations you're referring to. I mean, the allegations that the committee sets up, that the members, that the governor is not comfortable with the members. Well, be that it remains in the realm of speculations. Of course, if it's true, like my brother here alluded to, a man who himself has been an active participant in the whole drama hurriedly considered the Senate to issue what we now refer to as a kangaroo resolution, because the National Assembly has no such constitutional mandate to compel a governor to issue a proclamation. It's there. So the Federal Court in Port Harcourt has now rightly so stated that the governor haven't issued a proclamation, and that proclamation stands until probably the end of the life tenure or the span of this current House of Assembly. So to have that same man now, superintend over a committee to allegedly, or to preside over a committee to now foster reconciliation, I think that was an afterthought. So because a man cannot be a judge in his own cause. So it is a fundamental principle of justice and fair hearing. Yeah, then is the reason why I asked that. The government may not be may not be totally out of place to have that apprehension that a man in the image and likeness of Ahmed Lawal, the Senate President, who himself, without listening to all the parties at the earliest opportunity, to now hurriedly issue a resolution from the Senate compelling one of the parties to the conflict to go ahead and undo that which he has done under the law, to now also become the chairman of the Political Committee. I think that committee is dead on arrival. Yeah, when you say they did not listen to other parties, we understand that a committee was set up, and that committee came to Edo State, and they did their findings. And of course, they made their report back to Ahmed Lawal, and that was on the points on which he took his resolution. Well, like I told you before, the setting up of the committee from the very beginning was unconstitutional, because the National Assembly, being an arm of government, cannot tell another arm of government what to do in accordance with the Constitution. So the very first committee that was set up by the Senate to come and investigate lacked any scintilla of legality backing them. So that committee in the very first place had no constitutional mandate to start with. So you cannot place something on nothing and expect it to stand. So from the very beginning, the Senate lacked the legal competence to do that which they sought to do at the very beginning. So to now come back after that somersault, to now begin to try to bring this kangaroo reconciliatory move, having not done what is needed of you to do as an elder statesman, as a leader in the party from the very beginning, I think it is now too late in the day to have such a committee to come and try to reconcile the party. So my suggestion is very simple. We have other eminent leaders of thought in the APC as of today that can dispassionately look at this issue and reconcile all the parties if there is. Because the governor is the leader of the party in the state, and therefore it must be respected. So any other authority try to undermine the influence or the authority of the governor as the leader of the APC in the state must be resisted. Okay. And not even the Senate president can usurp that function or that that leadership role that is assigned to the governor of the state.
Okay. Now, Honorable Sase, there's no doubt that the Edo State APC crisis has assumed a national dimension. As we speak now, it's a national issue. And now, I recall that it was the NEC, the APC NEC, that's the National Executive Council, that had to set up the committee, this reconciliation committee, because from what we're listening, or, hearing here now, it appears that maybe the national chairman, in connivance with the Ahmed Lawal, just set up the committee. So who do you think can set up a committee for this kind of crisis that has assumed a national dimension?
Well, thank you very much, Evans. It's a sad situation that we have found ourselves. Actually, when there is a conflict, there will surely be a resolution.
Certainly.
And that's why Rupa Kafule disposed that the best way to resolution of conflict is dialogue. So even when nations go to war, they still come back to the drawing table to dialogue and resolve it. And like he rightly said, there is a legal maxim that said you cannot be a judge in your cause. I think they say Nemo Judah Kosa. You will agree with me that the NEC, the National Executive Council, a committee of APC, is headed by Adam Soshomole. And why would a NEC headed by a man who is at the center of conflict set up a committee to resolve a conflict where he himself is involved?
Yeah, but we should be able to.
I want to say that first and foremost, they got it wrong ab initio. Like, I want to agree with him that there are eminent personalities in the APC. There are people like the likes of BC Akonde and others, and other prominent persons.
Yeah, but the big question is, what is the statutory responsibility of the NEC, of APC?
But now that the principal actor of NEC is involved in this conflict, we are confident. But remember, the fear of the governor, when this crisis was just starting, there was a leaked video in the social media where the younger brother to the national executive chairman of the APC, national chairman of the party, boasted that the national officers of the party, by way of the National Assembly, were coming. I think the video went viral.
So it's an audio, supposed.
Went viral. Audio went viral. Where he boasted. And actually, when they came, we saw them doing the biddings or corroborating most of the issues raised in the said audio. It was enough for the governor and his people to begin to have suspicion. I also failed to realize that Lawa has the National Assembly, who have already taken side right from time. So if the governor is apprehensive.
When you say Lawan taking side, because I know, I said it a while ago, that the committee was set up. It was the findings of the committee that Lawa took his position on. So it's not as if maybe Lawa just...
The findings that were already preempted and came to the bearing.
Are you also aware that at that time...
No, just let him go on.
The findings were already preempted. And they say when a witch flies, when a witch flies in the morning, in the night, and a child dies in the morning, definitely you will definitely suspect the death of that child to the activities, to the nocturnal activities of the witches and wizards that flew last night. So that was exactly what played out. So you will not blame anybody to be very suspicious of what the actions that they have taken. So I think the president, if you want peace in this country, the president should on his own set up a reconciliatory committee. Let the president on his own set up he is the national, if the governor is the leader of the party in the state, the president is the leader of the party nationally. And holistically, if they want peace, of course, thank God, I'm not an APC person, but as an Edo indigenous, we want peace, we want progress for the state. The president, as the national leader of the party, should put it upon himself to put up a reconciliatory committee where every person will have faith in.
And what about when the president puts up a committee and the committee tend to favor one side? Will people not react? I leave that to you, then it's society.
Well, just before I answer that question, on the issue of the first committee that was set up by National Assembly, you will recall that at the time that committee came to Edo State, they were already pending lawsuits in the various courts in the land. They still went ahead.
That was the House of Reps committee now.
What is it? National Assembly?
The House of
Assembly.
Reps. Yeah.
So those committees sitting and their resolution on their findings, as far as I'm concerned, were all nullity because they were already pending lawsuits. And therefore, that matter they were now set up to come and look at was already sub judice. So they therefore lacked the legal capacity to now begin to conduct their findings or now make a resolution on such issues. So, for me, I'm not against reconciliation, but the parties to pretend over that process must not be partisan, must not have a vested interest. Like you have suggested, the national leader, who is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and of course leader of the APC nationally, must now call them all together.
Yeah, but some say this is a political matter, and just like what I said, that it is the neck of any party.
The president is also a member of the political party.
We know. The president is a member of APC,
yes.
But also he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if there are political issues, some people say that it ought to be the neck. So that's what we're saying.
Well, as far as these issues have been externalized, the neck have probably done what they know how to do best. But that best is not good enough because of the fact that Adams, Aliyu Shomole, former governor of Edo State, and now the APC chairman, have done all within his powers to frustrate that process and then hit up the polity. So having not shown capacity to reconcile all parties, remember, the crisis is not only in Edo State. It is a national issue. In all other states, in Bayelsa, in Rivers State, in Edo State, in Ondo State, the crisis is all over. So the president must now rise above board and then set up a dispassionate, a non-partisan committee made up of eminently qualified members of the APC to now call all the party, all the factions and bring them to a table of dialogue and then reconcile. Until that is done, if the process doesn't suggest there will be impartiality, there will be fair hearing, I believe the governor, like every other person like us, would condemn that process until the right thing is done. Okay,
Solomon Idogwe, may I get your reactions one more time?
You know, it's laughable when I hear some of us talk from two sides. I would say, let me quickly react to my brother Asase's comment when he talked about nocturnal meeting and the nocturnal witchcraft and the subsequent death of a child in the morning. As anything or the Omo. Let us not forget that an owl is a nocturnal bird. It flies mainly at night. And so, that an owl flies as a nocturnal bird. It's a normal thing. And then, the child dies in the morning. Maybe, just like I started with, that maybe the apprehension of Mr. Governor is because Ahmed Lawan is the Senate President and the Senate Committee had at one time come to Edo State to look at the issues, and the decision of the Senate as it was not favorable to the governor. But that does not mean, that does not change the fact that they do not. When you say constitutional, is your action or your comment that you have just made will not amount to unconstitutionality? What does, because you are a lawyer, you spoke as regard laws. You forgot that the APC has a constitution. What was the constitution of the All Progressive? At least recently I had time to look at some lines of the constitution of the APC and that of the PDP. And let me tell you very quickly, the constitution does not require the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to set up a committee, but the National Working Committee. And if you then force the workings of the Senate Committee as it then was, and you are faulting that of the National House of Representatives, recall that the National Working Committee meeting that was held, governors and some other persons, top leaders of the party, they all were part of that meeting. A resolution was, because that is what the constitution says. When there are issues like this, the top hierarchy of the party sits down and look at it. And what would they do? They are doing it constitutionally. And that's why I said, I would have expected, let me tell you, there was, you see, it's the same from what you are saying, is you are becoming very actively partisan in the issue, because you are not a member of the NEC. Just like I'm not a member of the NEC, I cannot say authoritatively here that the NEC meeting was inconclusive, because that meeting was attended by Mr. President. Very many issues were talked about. Many. You see,
gentlemen, let's take a short pause now because of time. We're going to join Blessing H again on the news update at 9:30, and when we return, we'll just take the other side, the last lap of this discussion segment. Please stay tuned. Thank you so much. The program's still here, and we still have gentlemen here, panelists, talking about the rejection of the reconciliation committee that has been set up to look at the crisis in Edo State APC. Gentlemen, you're welcome one more time.
Thank you so
Solomon Ujogbe, you were about to establish.
Yes, and I was saying that it's laughable when those who preach equity are not coming with clean hands. If my brother is so emphatic about the rule of law, is so passionate, I want to look at the issues dispassionately, he will know clearly that the issue of the National Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress of Nigeria setting up a committee to look into the matters affecting some areas of the party in areas like Edo State is a right step in the right direction. Like I said, the governor has a right, Governor Godwin Obaseki has a right to feel otherwise. But it does not change the fact that, going by what he was preaching, that the rule of law, it is the only legal constitutional means of it. That's what the constitution of the APC talks about. And so asking the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to go and set up a committee, my brother, is a wrong step in a wrong direction, because he has the issues of the states to handle. He has matters of the state that are more daring. We are talking of 36 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, making it 37. And you are talking of issues. So the political party anticipate issues may arise at different points in the political lifespan of a party. And so there are also measures spelled out in the constitution of these political parties in handling it. Yes, Comrade Adams Ali Oshomole is a national party chairman, but he's not the committee. Okay. He's not the National Working Committee. You recall that the National Working Committee meeting that had the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, was in attendance. All right, so the meeting was only presided over, but does not mean that it was a monologue or he was.
Thank you.
So when people say we want the rule of law, and then
say you have, let's begin to find lasting solution, because this has brought probably brought another logjam.
Like I said, you see, I wonder why if you are saying those who come to equity must come with clear, like you actually said. First and foremost, that Oshomole, Comrade Adams Oshomole, the present national chairman of the party, is involved in the crisis alone. First of all, dismisses him from even participating in that process of setting up the committee. You cannot be a judge in your own cause. First and foremost, he presided over that National Working Committee that you are talking about.
That your friends are speculating that is a suspended chairman.
Whether that's suspended or not, that's just to be leaked in the
right, so what should be? What should be the lasting solution? So
like I have deposited before. You see, sometimes when there's a conflict in constitution, you look at a way. You know, in all cases that the constitution is meant to guide the party, and when the constitution is tested, you go outside the constitution.
So are we going to look at the possibly way of
the possible way of this? First and foremost, yes, the constitution will be tested, because the man at the helm of affairs is already involved in the crisis.
If you go outside the constitution,
first and foremost, if you wanted to place sincere, he would have first of all stepped aside. because I am involved.
Because the governor
Because
wants
I am
to step
involved,
aside
he
and
will
have a
step
less
aside
suspension.
and let the committee, let the neutral people.
And when the National Assembly
decide over
can do, they were
the-
unconstitutional.
So why
let me get Dennis's opinion one more time as wrap up now. Now, Dennis, what should be the lasting solution to all this?
Well, before I quickly answer your question, let me first commiserate with the leadership and members of the Market Women Association in Edo State, led by Madam Blackie Ogiame, you know, on the recent fire incident that I've got on the markets in Edo State. I want to empathize with them and encourage them to be strong in this trying moment. And back to your question, like I said, Comrade Adam Oshomole, the national chairman of the APC.
I asked of the solution.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. A solution must, as a matter of responsibility, step aside and allow an independent...
You mean step aside from this issue? Not
a reconciliation, yes.
Okay.
Reconciliation, yes. And allow an independent committee made up of independent-minded stakeholders in the APC.
And where would that come from?
Nationwide.
Nationwide. Outside the NEC?
They are available. They are available.
I wonder the step aside, my brother. Because how can he step aside from...
We have a former national chairman of the APC, for example, in the person of a former governor.
Who is already also a partisan in the matter, who is siding Governor Obaseki. They have also been biased.
Bola Tinubu, these are eminently qualified statesmen who will look at these issues dispassionately, look at the eyes of all the warring parties, and then speak truth to power.
Okay.
Until that is done, then this uneasy calm in both camps will remain there. So the governor, for me, as the leader of the party in the states, have done very well to try to reconcile all the warring parties.
Thank you, Solomon. I give you just 10 seconds, Solomon, quickly. 10 seconds.
For me, people like us will sue for peace.
Okay.
The best way out is for the party to stop disturbing the peace of Edo people,
thank you
and
so
then
much.
look for a way to sit down and dialogue and make peace available.
All right, thank you so
party.
much. Thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you so much. Because of time. Thank you so much. Please extend the handshake down.
Maybe we have another time to...
And then Merry Christmas
to Merry Christmas to viewers out there. Let's join KC Devices as we commence our descent on this program today. Please stay tuned.